Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends of all descriptions. Um, okay, today I want to talk about my current lineup of headphones and earphones and how I decide which one to use when. So first of all, I shall share a screen showing you the lineup. It's a photograph I took today. Okay, there we are. So let's see, from the top left, we've got the Sony premium headphones, WH, and I forget the rest. It's a complicated product name. I don't know why Sony makes such complicated product names, but it's one of the top of the line ones. It's the MX4 rather than the MX5, so it's not the latest one, but it's a very good one. Then we've got Edifier, and this one is a lot cheaper than Sony, but as far as noise cancelling goes, it's really good. And then we've got OneOdio, and this is a really cheap one. I think it's about 4,000 or 5,000 yen. And in fact, it's supposed to be used by DJs. It's really pretty good. Not noise cancelling headphones, but pretty good quality. Okay, I think the Edifier was about 8,500 yen. And then up here we've got, this is OneOdio, and it's called Open Rock. So this is a kind of earphone with open ears. And here we've actually got, these are Oladance. And I was one of the first backers of Oladance on Kickstarter. And I'm really glad I did, because this has proved a very, very nice set of earphones. I don't know what the price is now, but I think it's come down from when I backed it. And then we got some much cheaper earphones, which are open ear, and they loop around the ear, as you can kind of see there. And there's some more down here. Again, cheap Chinese ones. Up here, we've got traditional Sony earbuds, which go into the ear. Again, this is the suffix is MX4, so it's about the same as the Sony ones on the left here, the headphones. It's almost the same product name as well, strangely. And then we've got two of this type, which is open ear. They're open ear, but as you can see, they kind of hook around the back of the head. And these are probably the best for running and things, because you're absolutely not going to lose these ones. They're very light, and there's really no way that you could lose those. So I'm pretty pleased with those. And that's it at the moment. I'm just going to stop the share now, and I will just take another quick look at, first of all, here's your Sony premium headphones, which are reviewed all over on YouTube, and they really are brilliant for noise cancelling. And they can link up with Bluetooth to two devices at once, so that's quite convenient. Occasionally the link falls away, but anyway, I'm really still kind of in love with these. And the next one, sorry, I've got them all here. This is the Edifier, which I like the design. A little bit of a hard corner on here, which is a bit disappointing. I'm pointing at it there. That's pretty hard, so you have to be a bit careful with these ones. Let's see if I've got the product. Oh yes, it's an EDF 20046, I think. But yeah, for 8,000 yen, you can't really go wrong with those. And then the OneOdio with the left and right there, so you know which earphone to put on which ear. And they're not supremely sturdy, but they're quite light and very cheap, as I said, I think 4,000 yen. So all of those are good in their way. And then what have we got? I'm trying to remember what the next one. The next one was this is the OneOdio, which arrived this week. And I've seen some rave reviews on YouTube. So I was really looking forward to receiving this. It was quite expensive, 16,800 yen. I bought it on PayPal. And I found it's okay. They're okay. Not bad at all. And I like the design. As you can see, it's a little bit unusual. So this hooks around the ear like that. And the case is unusual. And I believe the battery life is very long. But the stability of the connection is not so great. It's certainly not among the best, as far as I can tell. I mean, it's sort of barely covering 10 meters as far as I can understand. Yeah, so they sound okay. They sound fine. But I would say that's a little pricey for what they are, which I know other people have said they're great. And well, the other reviews might have been a year ago or something. So perhaps things have moved on a bit since then. Anyway, Chinese made and shipped to Japan to me from China. Next is the ones, my favorites really, in many ways, the Oladance. But let me see. Yeah, the thing about this case, as has been noted by many people already, is it doesn't charge the earbuds at all. It's just a case. Okay, so you have to buy a charging case separately if you want one, which I haven't really wanted one because, frankly, I only use this at night to listen in bed and this kind of thing. They're supremely comfortable, but as they were rather expensive, I don't really want to take them out of my house at all. I'm too afraid to lose them. And the next ones in the line up. Now these are interesting ones. The box, there's the box. Enhau, is it S13? And I really like these ones. It's there they are, as the same as on the photograph that I just showed you. And one slightly counterintuitive thing with this is when you when you take out the earphone, the one on the left goes on the right ear. So this one goes on the right ear. But I think that's not a problem. You get used to that pretty quick. The sound is actually pretty good, and I wouldn't say it's noticeably inferior, if at all, to the OneOdio Open Rock, which I just showed you, the silver one. But the interesting thing here is the price, which is, whereas I had to pay about 18,600 yen for the OneOdio, these little guys, under 4,000 yen from Amazon in Japan. So worth thinking about, I think. Next one on the list, well, this is slightly different design again. Whoops, where are we? This is the one where I put a cat on. I've shown this in a previous video. I put the cat on to show which side the lid opens because there was no obvious way to see. So these orange or red bits loop over the ear. So that's, again, kind of open ear, except that when you look in there, there is a part that actually does go into the ear somewhat. And these have a good bass response. That's very good. And I'm quite impressed with these. A little bit of a problem with stability, perhaps, of the signal. But anyway, really good and really cheap, sort of 3,000 or 4,000 yen again. So not expensive. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm trying to go in the order of the photograph, which I showed you before. Yeah, here are the traditional Sony earbuds. Not much to say about these because they've been reviewed 100 million times. A lot of times, sorry, I don't want to exaggerate too much. A lot of times already on YouTube. They're good, but again, too expensive for me to take outside of my house. I'd be far too afraid to drop them. So I do use them, but only at home. What else have we got? Now we've got the two, I suppose you can call them sports earphones. Let's see. You've got, I'm getting, they're easily tangled up together. Excuse me. So this is the older pair I have. And I really, they're just very simple. They just go on like that, ever so quick to put on and off. You can put a hat on above that. You don't really have a problem with wearing spectacles with them. Even a mask, I mean, because they are joined at the back, they're not going to fall off. So that's not an issue, really not an issue. So these are open ear, so you can hear anybody saying anything. They're very safe if you're walking around outside. You can hear cars and what have you. And I think these are the first open ear ones of this type that I bought. I also bought a red one of the same maker, which is Ucom X on Amazon. And that was slightly more sophisticated because you could pair to two devices at the same time. However, that one for some reason packed up a little bit early. So I've still got this one and it still works fine. This is the more simple one. Not expensive. I think, what, 4,000 or something? Can't remember exactly. And again, these ones are about 4,000. And very much the similar design. Go straight on like that. Very nice. Great for walking, which I do quite a lot. And very safe because you can hear what's going on around you. And these ones do pair to two devices at the same time. So it can be useful to have that, I suppose, but not essential for, certainly not when you're walking. I mean, I just pair up to my phone, so my iPhone. So really, I don't need to pair to two devices for most of the time. So if I'm going to summarize and perhaps go back, let's share the photograph one more time, shall we? Just to get the whole picture. There we are. So really, all of these have their uses, and they're not bad. None of them are bad. Some of them are more pricey. The Sony are pricey, but that's Sony's reputation as much as anything. The Edifier are not expensive, good quality. The OneOdio headphones I like them. They're good. I might even take them in an airplane. I'm not sure. The noise cancelling, I might even take the Edifiers if I go flying because of the noise cancelling. It's really good on the Edifier. But I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to take the Sony out of the house because if I lose it, then I have to pay a lot of money to get another one. In the open ear department, well, as I think I said, my real favorite is the Oladance. But again, the price is such that I don't want to take it out of the house. And second equal, I would perhaps put this one, the Enhau S13, and the OneOdio Open Rock. Although I'm a little disappointed by that because I listening to or watching the reviews on YouTube, I really built it up in my head as something really fantastic. And then these ones are a good sort of third option. Sony earbuds, and then we've got these different design again. So I think to summarize, I would say it all depends what I want to use them for. Headphones generally use at home. Possibly take the Edifiers for overseas trip or something. If you're flying somewhere, you need the noise cancelling to avoid the noise in a crowded airplane or something like that. And then the open ear ones, well, there's the more expensive ones, which I won't let out of the house. And that's good in a way, because if somebody wants to say something to you, like my wife might want to say something to me, I'm able to at least hear, that she's saying something and perhaps answer her with the open ear ones. Whereas the old earbuds, you had to sort of say, "What do you say?" and take the earbuds out, and it became a bit of a performance. And then, yeah, for walks, just regular walks, you can't really beat the two ultra lightweight ones there. Okay, I think I'm done. I've had enough. Well, I've had enough. I've said enough. I've had enough. So thank you very much, and talk to you again soon. Oh, and if you would care to give this a like and subscribe to the channel, that would be really, really good. Thank you so much, and goodbye now. Whoops, end the meeting.